Quick question. When I say AI, what is the first thing that pops into your head? I would venture to say probably ChatGPT, like a countless number of people, because ChatGPT actually is the tool that introduced AI to the world. But only using ChatGPT is a bit like going to a restaurant and always eating the same thing. It's delicious, you love that dish, but if you don't try anything else on the menu, you'll never know if you'll prefer something else. Today I'm going to walk you through 6 AI tools, including ChatGPT. What they do, what they're good at, and what they're not so good at. By the end of the video, you'll know exactly which of the 6 tools you should reach out for and when. Let's go. But first, 10 seconds on something important. I want to talk to you about hallucinations, and that's when an AI tool makes something up totally, but with a lot of confidence. And it happens to a lot of them. So for each of the tools, I will let you know which ones you should maybe check a bit more. The first one is ChatGPT here at chatgpt.com. You probably already have been here. It's OpenAI's tool, and it's best at conversations. It sounds really human. Planning is great. Brainstorming is one of its strengths. So for those type of things, it's great. Why people like it? Because, well, it has the longest track record. It has the biggest community of users. And it's very natural to talk to. Now, as a bonus, it can actually generate images too. If you go here on the plus and you click on create image, it can create an image. Not all of them do. So this is one of the strengths. One of the limitations, though, is that it cannot watch anything. For example, a YouTube video, well, you would have to copy and paste the transcript into ChatGPT for it to be able to answer questions about it. Other tools actually can watch it, so that's a limitation here. The takeaway for ChatGPT, it's still one of the best all-around tools, especially good for conversations planning, but you do have to verify. We're now in Gemini, which is Google's AI, and the address is here, gemini.google.com. And this one is best for people already in the Google ecosystem. So like me, if you have Gmail, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Drive, and you wanted to be able to watch videos because it can watch videos. For example, for my videos, I will put the link in and I will simply say, create the timestamps for this video, and it's good. I mean, I check it to make sure, but it's usually really good. So that's one of the superpowers. It can also create images, has a very, very good tool for creating images. It can create music, and it's an all-arounder like ChatGPT. I find it a bit less natural to talk to. It's really ideal for the people already into Google or who want to have help, and watching videos is part of that. Now we're in Claude at Claude.ai, and that's Anthropic's AI. The personality, because it does have a personality, I find that ChatGPT and Claude have personalities, Gemini a bit less. Whereas ChatGPT is more upbeat and, encouraging, I find Claude often to be more thoughtful and measured in the answers. And it has a great superpower. It's an all-arounder like Gemini, ChatGPT, but if you want to write something, whether it's a novel or you want help, or if you want to write something a bit more delicate, Claude is, I find, way better than any of the others. So that's the big superpower. It has a limitation like ChatGPT. It cannot watch anything. You have to put transcripts in. So it's not like Gemini. So that's a bit of a limitation, but you might not need that. In terms of hallucinations, it's at about the medium level like ChatGPT and Gemini, maybe a smidge better, not much more. And for the 3 of them, the issue often is the longer your thread is, or your conversation, the worse it gets. So I found that for any of them, I try to do my things in blocks, have a a chat and then do the first block and then just ask for a summary of that block and then copy that summary into a new chat to get to the next level. Because, yeah, they tend to really lose it at some point. But Claude writing, match made in heaven. And the fourth AI tool is Perplexity. Yesterday I was editing this video and I realized that I forgot to record Perplexity. And it's surprising because it's the one that I use the most of all of them, even more than my favorite one, which will be number 6. And this one is different from the first 3, whereas the first 3 were more like assistants. This one is really all about research. And what I love about it is that you will actually have the sources when you get the answer. I'm in Perplexity now, address is perplexity.ai, and I'm in a specific chat about Manus that I wanted to know more about it. And if you look here, you'll see that every time it gives an answer, it will put the source right here. And there's actually 3 sources here. It says Manus +2, and then, and so on. That's why it's very trustworthy, because you can click on these links, and I can click on one just to see here we go. Let's go on this one. And it brings you directly to the site in question. And actually it brought me to Manus so that I could try it probably, but all the others are sources. That's great. So in terms of hallucination, it's very low because it always gives you the sources and you can check them, which is why it's one that I use every day, multiple times a day. The 5th tool is Comet, and it's a browser, so that's why you won't see the address of Comet here, because I actually downloaded Comet as a browser, and it's powered by Perplexity. So Perplexity is the AI engine behind it, and this one is so cool because it integrates your AI into your browsing experience. And it does a bit more than that. It's not just like Google, where you would have a summary, an AI summary when you do a search. It actually can give you, it gives you an assistant. Let me show you how that works. So right now I'm in YouTube. One of my favorite YouTubers, Skill Leap AI, and I have this video. So I'm gonna click here on Assistant. And I'm going to simply ask it, even while it's not playing. I do listen to the videos, but just for the purposes of my video, I'm going to click summarize the video, and then it watches the video. So like Gemini, it can actually watch the video and summarize it. But what is beautiful is it's like Perplexity, it gives you the sources. So I asked for a summary here, and you see that it brings me back to the video itself, so you can check it out. But you could go on any website, Amazon, others, and ask questions and ask him, well, I don't understand this article, for example, and it would explain it to you. So that's great. And because it gives you sources, because it's based on Perplexity, the hallucination level is really low as well. So that's a great tool, and I use this one also very often. And finally, I'm in probably my favorite tool of all, NotebookLM, and that's a Google product, so it goes with Gemini as well. And I'm here in notebooklm.google.com, and I'm in one of my notebooks. I'm going to show you here. If you go, you see all of the notebooks. You can create a new one, but let's go back to this one. And what it's good at is that you put the sources here on the left that you have vetted. So you can say add sources, and then you would add it here. And because it's a Google product, you can actually go directly in your drive to attach some documents, which would become sources here. So because it's based on your sources, when you chat with it here, it's really great. It has basically no hallucination because it only goes into the sources that you gave it. Now, it can do much more than that on top of it. It can search the web and do some research, or fast research, or deep research even, but then it gives you the sources so you can check them, because If you do research on the web, of course, it's not based on your sources here. And depending on what you have as sources, you can decide that after the web search, you keep a few of these sources. It's going to be added to your sources as well. And then you can use the studio to do a pile of things. And so there's a number of videos about NotebookLM, including on my channel if you want to see what you can do with it. But there's so many things. So that's why it's probably my favorite one, because you not only can chat with it, you can research with it, and you can do audio overview like podcasts, slide decks, videos, tables, mind maps. Anyways, the sky's the limit almost with this thing. So it's also really good if you want to put some documents that are really long, like an insurance policy, or if you want to put your medical records. And again, it won't try to act as a doctor like Gemini or Claude or ChatGPT would do. It actually will only look at what you gave it. So I think that one is it's actually the most trustworthy one, and it's the one that is the most versatile. There's so many you can do with this. As you can hear, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of NotebookLM. So let's do a little recap so that you have it all in front of you and it's going to be easier for you to choose. You have ChatGPT that is great for really conversation, brainstorming, also planning, but it cannot watch anything, including YouTube, and you do have to verify. Gemini is really good, multimodal, including music, images, and if you're in the Google ecosystem, it's really great to have, and it does watch anything. It can watch YouTube and other things as well. Claude is really, really good for writing, but again, cannot watch anything, and those first three you have to verify. If you keep your threads, your chat threads a bit shorter, it's going to be better, but at some point it loses reliability. Then you have Perplexity, that is really to do some research, and it's very reliable. Then you have Comet, that is powered actually by Perplexity and is a browser, and it's super reliable, and it can watch anything as well. And finally, NotebookLM, the Swiss Army knife of all of these. It can do so many things, but the biggest point is that it can also use your documents, so you know that it's vetted and it's reliable. So it's the most reliable of the six. Now I'd like to hear from you. Which tool are you already using? And which one will you try over the next few days? Drop it in the comments. I make a new video every week, so hit subscribe if you don't want to miss any of them, and I'll see you next week.